What did you expect? What do you expect to be? What do you expect it's like to be a project engineer or a project manager in an engineering firm? What is it that your expectations are? Write them down. See if they really are that way. What's the real reality of being a project engineer and a project manager? Well, let's discuss that in this video. Many years ago, I became a project engineer in the Las Vegas area, and I didn't really know exactly what it was like to be a project engineer, but I had some kind of inkling and what my expectations were. I knew that as a project engineer, I would probably be the lead technical person on my design team, that I would be the person that would be stamping the plans. I had my professional engineering license for a few years, and I've been learning under some other engineers exactly what to expect when it was my turn to start stamping plans. So I thought, well, once you become a project engineer, well, you get to dictate how all the designs are, and everybody else on the design team, well, they just follow your instructions, and they really don't have much thought on their own. They may have some input in things, but much more than that. That was it. And as a project engineer, I got to make the real decisions on how the project was going to be designed. But over time, I found that not to be really the case. Okay, so my expectations were a little bit off, even though I had many years working in the engineering profession and working with other engineers. I started off working in a print room and eventually working my way to a drafting table where I could actually do hand drawing of drafting and drawing plans. And eventually I worked in the field, working as a surveyor, working my way all the way up to a party chief on those teams. So all my expectations of what a project engineer were, well, they were kind of governed by those past experiences. But even then, I really didn't know everything it was to be a project engineer. I know you've been getting value out of this video, so please go down below right there and click that subscribe button, because that way you'll see all of our videos as we're coming up. And also you want to go over and hit that bell over there so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video on project engineering, on project management. Once I did become a project engineer back in, well, let's say turn of the century of 2004 or so, things were kind of eye-awakening to me. As a project engineer, in reality, the job is very demanding. All the technical issues of that design team is your responsibility. You are the person that is stamping those plans. And that professional engineering stamp, when you stamp, you are taking personal responsibility for that design. If it fails, it's you that will have to answer. So it makes a lot of pressure on you. Well, it also means that you may think as a project engineer, you only work maybe 8 hours, maybe 6 hours. No way. Every day, you'll stay there late at night going over plans and checking every number on those plans. You'll be checking the calculations of the slopes, the difference in the elevations, everything you're checking to make sure that the calculation on the reports are right, making sure that what we're calling out on the plans are matching those reports. It becomes a never-ending job to make sure everything is done right. And then once you do find some errors, which you will, on every plan there are errors, and you'll have to find an answer. Well, you'll find that there's more than one answer. There's always multiple answers, and which is the right answer? Well, that depends on who you ask. You ask your design team which is the better answer, and they'll probably say the easiest one, okay? Not necessarily the right one. You ask your project manager which is the right answer, and he'll say, well, which is going to save me the most time and which is going to keep me in budget. Well, that's not necessarily the right answer either. And then if you can get your project manager to ask the client what is the right answer, well, he'll look at it as, again, on his budget and his timeline, how long it will take to build your design. The longer it takes and the more expensive it is, the less likely he will want to go that route. So, in essence, in project engineering, you are the lead technical person. You answer all the questions technically. Your project manager may not have the experience of a technical background, so he's going to rely on you also to answer those technical questions. It is your job to make sure that whatever design you come up to will, on your own design team, save you time to do it, to draw it and design it, and keep you in budget on that design team. But at the same time, you're looking for the same thing in the field to make sure that when they build it, it will take less time to do it, as minimal as possible, and still meet the standards and criteria, and also be the cheapest method to do it. So that's some of the ideas that I thought would be kind of interesting to pass on. Expectations and reality. You know, you think project engineering would be a very easy job to take, but in reality it isn't, because the answers are multiple answers to any question. But there's only a few of those that meet the criteria, the standards of the community, your client, and also are timely, can be built in time, and also can meet a budget. Those are your main tasks as a project engineer. Now, as you can see, coming up over to the side here, we would like for you to subscribe to our channel. Also, right up there and right down there, there's 2 other videos that you can watch, answer more things about what it is to be a project engineer and a project manager. So until the next video, keep on growing as an engineer, keep on growing as a manager, and improve your career in the profession of engineering. See you on the next video.